So let's return to those closed-door, high-level Capitol Hill meetings between a Navy admiral and those senior lawmakers. The meetings are high stakes, they're classified, and they focus on Admiral Frank Bradley. He is answering for a deadly September 2nd boat strike after a first strike on a suspected drug boat didn't quite finish the job that Secretary Pete Hegseth is said to have ordered him to do. Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton, who was at that classified briefing, came out. He spoke moments ago about the video of the incident. Let's talk about that.
I saw two survivors trying to flip a boat loaded with drugs bound for the United States back over so they could stay in the fight. And potentially, given all the context we heard, of other narco-terrorist boats in the area coming to their aid to recover their cargo and recover those narco-terrorists. And just like you would blow up a boat off of the Somali coast or the Yemeni coast, and you'd come back and strike it again if it still had terrorists and it still had explosives or missiles, Admiral Bradley and Secretary Hegseth did exactly what we would expect them to do.
So let's go live to where all of this is happening, and CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion. So, Nikole, it's striking to me that that Republican lawmaker has his way of seeing it, while earlier here on CBS News 24/7 we heard from a Democrat who seemed to interpret what he saw in that very same video much differently. What are you hearing on Capitol Hill?
Yeah, that's right. Well, obviously, there are different takeaways for different members. And as you referenced, that seemed to be the case for House Intelligence Ranking Member Jim Himes. Take a listen to what he felt was significant coming out of today's briefing.
Admiral Bradley and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff did the right thing. Admiral Bradley defended the decisions taken, and Admiral Bradley has a storied career, and he has my respect, and he should have the respect of all of us. But what I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have two individuals in clear distress, without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel, who were killed by the United States. The last thing I'm going to say is that the Admiral confirmed that there had not been a kill them all order, and that there was not an order to grant no quarter.
So does it exonerate Hegseth? Does it exonerate him?
That's all I got there.
Do you think the video should be released publicly?
I do.
So I was at that avail with Congressman Jim Himes. As you heard there, he wouldn't say if this exonerates Secretary Hegseth or if the video should be released. However, in that press avail, he did talk about the importance of taking that video into context. And so we will see whether or not portions of that video or the full unedited video is eventually made public. What I can also tell you is that I had a chance to catch up with Senate Armed Services Chair Roger Wicker, who said that he was briefed by, in his words, a very capable officer. He did, however, tell me, though, that he feels that additional members of the House and Senate may want to be briefed. When I asked him whether or not he is considering holding hearings on this topic. So again, I don't think this will be the last that we hear of this controversial strike, but at least for now, lawmakers getting some answers, but at the same time, many of them still have more questions as well.
Yeah, and Nikole, let's play this out. This meeting is between the Admiral and just a handful of lawmakers. Could this lead to a larger congressional probe into this second strike?
Well, keep in mind, there's already a probe underway. In fact, that's part of what, got these briefings to occur, in the sense that you had both the House and Senate Armed Services committees pledging investigations and a very vigorous oversight. And so that's kind of what got the ball running in terms of calling for these briefings. In fact, Chair Wicker, shortly after that Washington Post report emerged, he had a conversation with Secretary Hegseth, as well as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, who was also part of these briefings today. So again, these committees who were briefed together today did indicate that, he may want to press further with this. But again, what those next steps may be remains to be seen.
Nikole Killion, thank you so much for asking the question and chasing those answers there in Capitol Hill day in and day out. We appreciate you.